Hey everybody, Venture Max here. Today I'm in I'm in Indonesia, but today I'm up in the highlands in a resort called Sanggiri. It's in the highlands of Indonesia, about a 2.5 hour drive, two and a half hour drive away from Kuta. It's where they grow a lot of the rice, and it's very much more rural village life here. And so I'm here for one night, although I've now already sort of fallen in love with it so much I've extended it to 2 nights. Here in Sanggiri, we live in luxury tents for my 2 nights. When I say it's a luxury tent, it's actually what I consider not a tent. Oh, it's just started raining. It's a tent in the sense of it's got fabric walls, but it's also got walls in it. So that the main room is nothing what I would consider a tent. I'm not used to having a giant 4-poster king-size bed in my tent or a table, and I'm definitely not used to having in my tent a sink with water, a toilet, and a 3-stage shower. I'm not complaining that I've got this in my tent, but next time I go to Glastonbury, I'm definitely going to wish that, I expect that my tent has all of this in it. If it doesn't, I'm going to get on the phone to Mr. Evis and say, hey, Mr. Evis, no! Adventure Max now demands 4-poster beds, balcony, and chairs in my tent. So, luxury tenting, it's definitely the way forward, and everyone should see it. One of the things you gotta love when you come to these sort of places, you get a real good opportunity to relax, and trying to pass the time. Obviously there's no nightlife here, there's no bars, there's no bingo halls or whatever I like to do, and so here when you come here you're forced to A, relax, and B, entertain yourself, be it reading a book, using the computer. I try to take a shy away from technology for once in my life, and so I resort to my age-old friend alcohol. So I've got my Bacardi, I'm going to go get some Coke, and I'm going to sit here and watch the sunset and drink, not the whole bottle, that would be ridiculous. I mean, who would try and drink a whole bottle? Maybe me. But that's my evening's entertainment. A bottle of rum, some good company. So we're about to go down the rice fields, as you can see. Beautiful rice fields here. It's what you picture Indonesia to be like. Quite looking forward to go down and actually seeing rice. This is one of my lifelong ambitions, was to actually look at a rice paddy field. Now, as you can see, this is the rice plants, and the actual amount of rice you actually get off a plant is actually really, really minimal. You think a bag of rice, a kilo of rice, how much, many grains of rice you get in a bag of rice, and then you look at a plant such as this and you see how many grains you get. I think it must take 5 or 10 square meters of these plants to just make 1 kilo of rice, and you multiply that out by how many bags of rice you get through in a year, and you realise all the rice in the world is grown horrendously manually. You know, to plant all this, each plant's got to be hand planted, hand picked, hand brushed. It's just a hugely amount of effort. So when you come to a rice field like this, you start to get an appreciation of just a bowl of simple rice. Actually, there's quite a lot of labour goes into it compared to a grain of corn, because a grain of corn can be automated. If you've ever wondered where Rice Krispies come from, well, I know they don't look like Rice Krispies, but they are. They're grains of rice. You heat them up and they explode like popcorn, and that's how you get Rice Krispies. Try it one day. I think you've got to have the ones with the husk on, like this has got a husk on it, so it's just about ready to eat. I would love to plant some rice. I know there's trips where you can do it for half an hour, and I think after half an hour you don't want to plant any more rice because it's back-breaking work. But it's one of those things I'd love to do at some point, and not this trip, but another trip, maybe in Vietnam or somewhere. Get on a cycling trip and you sort of live with the farmers. So I'll do that one day, not today. One thing about staying in a rainforest is it rains a lot. So this is about the 5th time it's rained today. This morning not so much, you sort of missed it, so when I was walking around here it's definitely missed all the rain. But it tends to be more in the afternoon and late evening around here. So I'm quite happy to be sat on my bed just doing bits and pieces and out on my chaise lounge on the balcony reading my book, and this is where I'm going to stay for the rest of the day until 6 PM when I'm going to get my sarong on and go do some worshipping to God Almighty me. Indonesia is obviously a very religious place with temples everywhere. Each temple is dedicated to a different part of your being. Some are dedicated to health, some are dedicated to money, but there is a temple just near here. It's literally just up there, and tonight they're having a special ceremony. And what I like about this temple is it's dedicated to yourself, so me, or whoever's going there. So this, for the first time, as I found a religion I can actually sit and stand, because the religion is about me. Perfect. Not every day you get to pray about yourself and worship yourself. So tonight I get to put on my sarong, sort of candlelit one, and they've got all those shamans, I'm not sure what you call them. And we're going up there because it's some big spiritual day here where it's a full moon, so that means it's quite symbolic. So I'm going to go up there in my sarong and get blessed about myself. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm genuinely excited because to get to go to religious ceremonies or anything village life or anything like that where you don't feel just a tourist, you're not just here's $40, show me what's happening. You get to go along, and they treat you quite like a local. The people up in the mountains here are obviously a lot more friendly than what you would get in the city, because in the city they're there to try and rip you off as much as possible. Whereas up here, everyone says hello. Every child literally stops on the street and just asks where you're from. They don't ask for money. They want to speak English and practice their English. So I recommend coming to these sort of places. Don't just stay in a hotel. When you go away for a week's holiday and you've got yourself your hotel to stay in, and you don't want to stay anywhere else obviously because you've paid for your hotel for a week, but when you get opportunities like this where you could stay in a luxury tent or just a normal tent or a tree house or someone's home, if you get the option to stay in it just for one night, it's definitely worth taking every chance you get, because I guarantee you go home and the one thing you'll talk about isn't the hotel you stayed in. You'll say it was nice, the food was average, the wine was good. You'll end up talking more about the homestay you stayed in, the slight adventure you had. You talk about holidays and you remember either the things that went wrong, which in hindsight you look back and you laugh. You don't really remember so much of the good times. Part of the reason why I document this is for myself to remember some of the good times, and also maybe to share some ideas with people who are thinking of coming to somewhere like Indonesia.
Kaping kaliring ide sunang ding simpangan tamblingan dah orang gedang simpang kaping dengan belagun batiring yang sendiri ide sunang mengerti jadi.
So that was the temple blessing. I made my wishes about myself because that's the idea of this temple. You wish for yourself and what you want out of the future. You get a nice talisman. I'm not allowed to take it off apparently until it falls off. So when it falls off, I then put it in my pocket and I keep it as a keepsake. If my wishes come true, or a wish comes true, then I have to come back to this temple and give thanks. So I now have an excuse to come back to this temple because you can make as many wishes as you like. So I make 1,000 wishes. So if one of them would say, I wish for a cheese sandwich. If this comes true, I get to come back to Indonesia and say thanks. So I've made a few basic wishes like that, and then a few bigger wishes that might require a bit more faith to come true. But you never know. It's been different. To drink the water, the priest blesses you. Not as involved blessing as I thought, or a ceremony. I thought it'd be busy here. It's a special day, but apparently they have times. They all come at different times, and so it's quite organised. It's been great. I got to dress in a fancy dress, wear a fancy headdress, and put rice on my head. So it's definitely been an insight into the culture and insight into Hinduism, because I know very little about it, so I'll probably find out more soon. Forget your bars, forget your drinks, forget your disco and your nightclubs, your go-go girls. That's not adventure. Adventure's in the countryside, seeing the culture, seeing the people, seeing how people live. You can sit on a beach anywhere in the world, but you can't come to a rice paddy anywhere in the world. You can't see people how they live anywhere in the world. You've got to get off the beaten track, see how people live, to really appreciate how the world works. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. Please leave a like or subscribe. Any feedback's always welcome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.